There's Robert Arnold along right where the seawall ends, right, and the western part of the island begins. And Robert, I know you're along the coast, but at some point, can you tell us about 3005, that main roadway there? From the chopper, it looked to be flooding out pretty good.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely flooding out when we came by about an hour ago. That's been our problem all morning. You know, we started over in Brazoria County on the other side of San Luis Pass in Treasure Island, and we've had to move several times, and that's because the water is just coming into these neighborhoods. It is starting to make certain spots along 3005 impassable. If you can imagine what we're going through this morning, it's like being in a hedge maze, except the hedges keep moving on you. That's the trouble we've had. Every time we get to a dry spot, sure enough, 10 minutes later, water would come rushing through again. That's because these surging waves coming through this area, there's nowhere for the water to drain from the neighborhood. So the bay is backed up. It's starting to fill up all the storm ditches in the neighborhoods, and that's why all the streets are already going underwater, and that's also spilling onto many parts of 3005. We had trouble. We had to actually cut around, come up Stewart Road, and get back around because there was just no way we were going to get down 3005 all the way to this spot. And this is one of the toughest spots because right where that seawall ends, these areas are vulnerable. What we saw earlier, even areas that have a good solid dune system where the vegetation has taken root and grown in, that's starting to erode away. We've seen piers already starting to be demolished from these waves that have been constant. When we came out about 12:30 this morning, the surf was already churning into a good thaw, but now you're seeing these huge waves, and they're getting bigger and bigger with each passing hour, and we're still a few hours away from Ike really making an impact in this area. We have a little bit of wind, but nothing strong, so you can imagine what this surge is going to be like when Ike really finally fully pushes into the coast. We are live on the west end of Galveston. Robert Arnold, KPRC Local 2.
Robert, I'm just curious.
That's just exactly it. You go to the west end, that's Jamaica Beach. I'll walk around and I'll show you here, give you a good shot of 3005. Bear with us as we walk down here. Right there, if you see that big lake, that's actually 3005. That one truck is going through. You can see his headlights.
Right.
It never ceases to amaze me that people try and go through that high water. He looks like he's going to be lucky and make it, but we've seen other cars that have gone in, decided, no, it's too deep, so they've turned around and gone back. But that's 3005. Everything going west that way is going to be your Jamaica Beach area where we were earlier in Pirates Beach West, and it's all going underwater now. It's becoming impassable.
You know,